Tactics back at home as we are at the half, and Trae Meny, our guest, Greg Tadish, Assistant Sports Information Director with UHSP, as we talk at the break of the UHSP Central Baptist matchup. And Trae, I appreciate you stopping in and spending some time. It's difficult. You guys looked so good last Saturday against Southeastern Illinois, and yet you sit here tonight still looking for your first win. And that game's an exhibition, but man, you guys look so much better in that game. Can you put your finger on why Saturday went so well, despite the fact you don't get to count it versus what went down in the first three games of the year?
I think we finally just found some flow, and guys were hitting shots, and Darius started off really hot, and that just helped us. It just kept feeding the hot hand, and I looked up all of a sudden, he had 20, and I was like, dang.
What do you make of the shooting so far this year? I was looking up some numbers on you. You're an all-conference guy from last year. You were second in the conference in three-pointers made per game, 82% from the line, top 20 in scoring, and you're averaging 8 a game this year, but you haven't even taken a free throw in games that have counted. And the shooting is it a repetition deal? And I'm not just picking on you, but like the whole team has really struggled to shoot the basketball.
Yeah, I think that just kind of comes with our flow. It just really hasn't been there yet. And on Saturday, you could tell that it was there finally, and started hitting some shots, and it'll come to us for sure.
I talked with Jason Udalisa for Saturday's halftime report, and he talked about and it's easy to talk about this, the blend of you guys who have been here and been through the rigors and the seniors with no juniors versus the freshmen and sophomore, and the interaction and the chemistry between you guys. And he talked a lot about still learning roles. That's a nice phrase in basketball. Is that still happening? Do you sense that, first of all, that is still happening? Second, that you're making progress?
Yeah, for sure. Because, coming into college, everybody in high school that plays college basketball was the highest scorer, their best player, and whatever. And, yeah, you just have to kind of find your role. And lucky for us, the sophomores last year got to play quite a bit. So that was good for them. And then the freshmen, once they finally get their feet wet here, we'll be pretty good moving forward.
Well, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony this past weekend, and I know that you had the opportunity to be there and saw guys like Alec Daly and Sean Menkowski go in, Daly on the track side and Menkowski on the basketball side. And I guess Alec kind of did a little bit of everything, so he played a basketball game or two, whatever, back in the early, 2009-ish region. Both those guys talked about team unity and bonding and how integral the other guys on the floor were. And I guess here we are back talking about chemistry, but they really seem to hone in on the importance of, man, I couldn't have done it without him. I couldn't have done what I did. I wouldn't be here today and going into the UTech Hall of Fame without that specific guy who really made me become kind of who I am. Do you get the sense that the other guys on the team have that camaraderie? And this goes beyond developing roles, but you can't do what you do if Darius isn't there, but Darius can't do what he does if Alassane is not. Do you sense that and grasp it as much as the guys that last weekend in the Hall of Fame induction talked about it?
Yeah, they definitely mentioned that a lot, and I think we're still kind of figuring that out. You can tell on Saturday, we're all figuring each other out and still working through all of our differences and finding out how we can help each other out the best. And I think that's our biggest step moving forward, is just how can we help each other out.
Trae Meny, our guest at the half. You're a successful high school kid that played for a longtime head coach that happened to be your dad. He had 20-some-odd years at Battle High School, and I know you won 2 state tournaments out of Battle High School. Were those the highlights of your basketball career, going to those state tournaments and winning back-to-back district titles out of Battle?
Yeah, they were pretty good because that was another situation where we had to kind of deal with our team chemistry and everything. And once we finally figured each other out and everything, we were able to make a push late because I'm pretty sure we were seated not even high in the district for the tournament. But then we ended up overcoming stuff on the away games the whole time too, and got that done. It was pretty fun, yeah.
We talked with Elizabeth Olenek for Game 1 tonight of our At the Half segment. We were talking about her dad is super visible and vocal on social media, talking about being from Texas, and she is, and following her and her sister and stuff like that. How important can you put into words what your dad did for your career? Because it's difficult playing for your dad. I mean, that's always tough. If your dad isn't a coach, it's a lot different than, man, I had to play for this guy for 4 years, and he's different on the floor than he is at home. The relationship between the two, can you put your finger on the importance of the role he played and where you are right now?
Yeah, he really helped me out a lot, whether it was getting into the gym at all hours of the night. Well, I'm pretty sure we always spend Christmas Eve or Christmas Day in the gym. It's just always fun for us, and just always been around it. But I will probably have to say that my mom, she holds us together at home, and she makes every single game. Hasn't missed one of my basketball games, I don't want to say 10 years probably, close to that. And then, yeah.
I talked to the other guys I've spoken to for this At the Half segment, and the easy question is kind of like, what makes a successful season for you? And I'm trying to think of something different to ask you, so I'm going to roll with this. Even though Saturday was a win, but it doesn't count, are you guys in a spot where you need a win psychologically, just for some feel-good stuff to see no longer a zero in that W column? Are you there yet?
I wouldn't say we're there yet, but we're getting pretty close because it's easy after a loss to say, let's just move on to the next game. But at some point in time, it's like we got to buckle down and get a win now. Don't worry about next game. We got to worry now.
Jason talked a lot about the importance of conference play. A lot of his conversation was, man, we got to bone up for these first 3 games because conference play starts now this week. Does that hold that same meaning for you, that these games starting tonight and now moving forward and the conference is a different animal than, say, non-conference regular season stuff?
Yeah, I would say so for sure. Everybody knows each other in conference. We're going to play everybody twice, and you know what plays everybody's been calling for the last few years, know how everybody plays, and your scouts are just a lot tougher, and the teams are just better overall, and it's pretty tough, but it should be good.
Your Twitter headline says you're a hooper that plays golf in the summer. How's the golf game?
It could be better. I like to hit it far,
Just not so much straight?
Yeah, that's what we're working on still.
Better golfer, better basketball player?
Basketball player for sure.
Great to see you. I appreciate you sitting in. Thanks, Trae.
Thank you.
Trae Meny, our guest at the half. We're back to the College Cast crew coming up in a moment.